ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm John Gray.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
And I guess I'm Jerry Harris.
You'd be Jerry Harris.
I was going to be Peggy Burton, but I don't fit the bill.
You can't fit that bill today.
And for those of you who don't know, we are the P-heads.
The P-head. The P-head.
We didn't intend to be P-heads, but it's just turned out that way.
That's the way.
Yeah, exactly.
We're the three P's in the pod.
Exactly. But you got to admit, over the years, that's been there's been a lot of conversation about why did you call this company P-Head Productions? But so I guess they'll probably remember you for that. So
yeah, well, the reason why is because when we first started, Joe Henry and John Parsons, both military technical type guys and sound men, would be back in the studio, and when we would try to produce a show, they would get less than friendly to one another, and you could hear
putting it mildly,
and you hear expletives coming out of the back room, and finally you'd hear one of them go, "Why, you pea-headed so and so and so and so," meaning small of cranium.
Yeah.
Don't have enough brains. Don't have enough room to put any brains up there.
Right.
And so when we incorporated and Jim came and said, well, we need to think of what a name would be for this company, I said, well, it's got to be P-Head Productions.
That's awful. It's misleading.
But nobody ever forgets it.
No, they don't.
They remember
they don't forget.
it.
But I have had people ask me, said, I got this bill from P-Head. Do you know who they are? I say, that's us.
That's us. That's us.
But they'll write a check to Waterhorse. And still, they've asked me. I had a lady the other day that I was talking to. She said, well, are y'all ever going to send me a bill? I said, I think we have, haven't we? She said, no. Said, I got something from somebody, P-Head, but I threw it in the trash.
Oh, gosh.
I said, that was the bill.
That was the bill.
That was the bill. That's why it hadn't been paid.
That's scary. And that kind of brings back memories when you talk about John and Joe, how they used to talk to each other in the control room, because we did a lot of live TV at that
yes,
point.
We did.
Most of the stuff was live. And you had an earpiece, and it was really challenging when you would be talking to the audience and trying to keep a straight face, and you're hearing all these expletives coming through your earpiece there. So it really did make it challenging.
And we did. We've been doing this. This is our 21st year.
I think so. Yeah.
We did this for what, 5 years, or more than that, at the Legion.
Yeah, we've been in the studio since 2002. I guess it was close to about 10 years.
10 years.
We started in
10
92.
years we were over at the American Legion, and we would have to do a show, and everything we did, all the sets and everything, were hinged where you could fold them together, because we'd have to put them in a closet, because there would be a band coming in to set up in the bar, or there'd be something going on in the ballroom. We started off doing the shows in the ballroom.
Right. Then we moved to the bar.
Yeah.
And so the bar
then you moved to the
at 4 o'clock.
One little area, and then here.
Then here, yeah. So
y'all didn't know what to do when you got in here, did you?
Oh, celebrate. I did, because I was the one that had to tear all that stuff down and put it back up in the closet.
Yeah, John was the official set manager, I guess.
Still am.
Yeah, still
pretty
is.
Much.
That's right.
But
he does move around in here quite a bit.
But we'd be set up on the dance floor, and we'd have to break all that stuff down to get ready to do karaoke. Or after karaoke, the hard one was after karaoke on Wednesday night, which would go until about 1 o'clock. And by 1 o'clock, when you're doing karaoke, some of the song selections get less than family rated, and
so does your mentality as host of that.
Right. Yeah. And then everybody'd leave, and I'd have to pull the sets out of the closet and set everything up, and I'd get through about 3 to 3:30 and go home, and then we had a live television show at 9 o'clock the next morning.
But you did good. You were always on time.
Yeah, I've always been a person that's on time.
Well,
very seldom
what
late.
I remember most about the Legion and what was held out was the telethon. I mean, that was always, I can remember the first time I ever had to talk. I told Jimmy, I said, I'll be in the bar. Come and get me. It scared me to death. I was totally I just couldn't do it. But Jimmy, see
No,
me
you
through.
did well. You did well.
You know, and a lot of people feel that way even to this day when you tell somebody who has somebody with a nonprofit or something going on that has a cause. And you know, we do a lot of that. We have a lot of people on television that don't pay to be here. They're here because they have a good reason to be here, and we always want to support the community.
That's right.
And help them get their message out. But a lot of them say, "Oh, I'm scared to death. What am I going to do?" And I say, "Well, you know, usually there's nobody here.
Just talk.
It's just us. You know, it's just like sitting in your living room and
It's
talking."
not nearly as difficult as you might think.
No, because we don't even act like those cameras are out there. I mean,
Right.
this is just
Well, you
like
forget
having
them.
a conversation
they're
with
there.
your friends.
That's it.
With your friends.
But
And-
now you'd be surprised how many people run when you pull out a camera.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not
sure.
talking about just illegal aliens either. I'm talking about people that you know. That's real. But they always say that when I'm at a horse show or something, I want to interview a trainer. The trainer will freeze. He'll just freeze up. Can't say anything.
Can't say anything.
I remember when we were doing the telethon, when we first did the telethon, as we were about to come on the air and live, the first live one we did, and the guys standing around that were working the sound and you know those kinds of jobs. Wendell Hartman said, I can't believe you're not nervous, you know. Well, Benny wasn't nervous, but he was fortified, you know.
Yeah.
So,
He was pickled.
but you know, I'm thinking, what is there to be nervous about? We're just, you know, we're in this room. All our friends are here. I mean, it's no big deal, you know.
You know, and that's amazing. You look back and think about that, what it takes, because that show was about a 6-hour show.
Yeah.
And we put 6 hours worth of live television on the air with sponsors and entertainers and had,
some non-entertainers.
well, those were the good ones.
They were entertaining though.
Yeah, I mean, Benny and the Banquettes were not necessarily on key or on track, but they always made a bunch of money.
They did.
Well, I
Because
remember
they were
when
the
y'all got
funniest.
me
They were the
to
funniest of the whole
introduce one
bunch.
group, and it got to where I was just. How many times did they sing that night? 6 or 7. That I had a man and a woman.
Well,
Right.
the deal was, if you had a sponsor, you could sing, and
Right.
the
Right.
money all went to Big Brothers. But,
Yeah, the song was $250.
Yeah.
or $200.
$200.
And for $200, the sponsor got to pick a vocalist or an entertainer, and then they got about a minute and a half to talk about their business and wish everybody Merry, because this always happened around Christmas time, and wish everybody Merry Christmas and thank them for helping them be successful during their year's worth of business. And so if somebody wanted to do that a bunch of times, every time they put $200 down, they could get somebody to sing.
Do you remember the Bong show?
Gong show.
Gong, bong,
When
whatever.
they pull them off with a hook.
They get. Well, we should have had a hook sometimes.
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't all about how talented you were. It was about
That is about
About
$200.
$200. It was about $200 for Big Brother.
yeah.
For Big Brothers.
Yeah, right.
And Big Brothers supplies not only veterans but people in need throughout the year with things they need, like walkers and hospital beds and wheelchairs and older people who need air conditioning in the hot months. And you know, Big Brothers is a wonderful organization, and that organization still goes on through the American
It does.
Legion post 43.
Matter of fact, they were delivering Christmas baskets about a week ago.
Right.
I do want to say one thing about the telethon, though. Pam Spencer put one of the best gigs together I'd ever seen. Now, she did. She had me in it, you in it, and Jim in it. And she did the right thing. She said, Jerry, put these sunglasses on, sit there like you playing the piano, and don't say nothing else. That was the smartest move ever made.
And John played the saxophone in that deal, and I played guitar.
Right, you played guitar and Pam sang.
Faked it. I mean, you know.
And the thing about it is, again, here we are, innovators,
Yeah.
and don't get a penny out of it. It wasn't long after that Jib Jab came about. We were the original live jib jab card.
But surprisingly, there were a lot of folks out there that thought we were really playing those instruments. You know.
It's funny.
If they'd seen what my fingers were doing, they'd have known we wasn't playing. I just going down.
That type of event and the type of other things that we've done here for 20 years brings me to the point of looking out there and saying thank you to all of you folks who watch and have supported us through all these years. We've sort of delivered a weekly, almost bi-weekly, now that when we started doing the news 3 times a week, history of Tullahoma and the surrounding area. And if it wasn't for you folks out there caring and watching, and all the sponsors we've had through the years. And you know, it's hard in a small town to get sponsorship money because everybody's got their hand out looking for money. And we've been fortunate that we've had support from a lot of people in this community to help us be on the air, because we've never received any money from anybody else other than our sponsors.
Right.
And we just want to take a little time, all 3 of us do, to thank all of you folks out there who've underwritten us and undergirded us throughout the years to help us bring live television to this community and our viewing area.
And that's from Fayetteville, Manchester, McMinnville, Shelbyville,
Beech Grove, Bell Buckle, Mott Eagle,
Wartrace.
It goes Wartrace, Lynchburg, Franklin County. It goes on. And of course, as I look at the screen here while we're doing this, I look behind me and see this beautiful metal snowman, and go right to the top of the list goes the flower shop. Sure. Because even before we started doing television, and we were doing the telethons and other things, Janie and Kathy and Julie and Tommy and the girls over there at the flower shop have always supported us and helping us in decorating and doing stuff. And it's great. I can just go over there and just get what I want and tell them I'll bring it back tomorrow, the next day, and that's just fine. And we certainly do appreciate them very much. And if you ever need anything in the decorating, gift, or floral line, remember the flower shop on Blackwell Street.
Oh, yeah.
And today we're going to kind of relive some moments, I think, of this year, aren't we?
Right. Philip and I talked about it, and he's been going back through the book, because every week when we do this show, we have a playlist of a lineup of what we do, and we keep all of those. And so he sort of flipped back and found some of the funny things and some of the special things, and we've been real fortunate. We've had some entertainers on here this year,
yes.
Some music type people that are exceptional and known worldwide, and we're going to bring some of that to you and just give you a little. They've got this Throwback Thursday now.
Uh-huh.
That on Thursdays, if anybody's on Facebook, they've got a Throwback Thursday, and there's usually people post pictures from the past.
Right.
And so, this is going to be Throwback Tullahoma.
Well, one of the people that we've had here, he's not going to be on today's program, Anastasia is, I believe, but Travis Bowling.
Yeah.
The blues singer.
Yeah.
He was singing one day, and a lady was passing through Mont Eagle, and he was in there practicing. And she comes up and she says, "Who is that young guy?" They tell her. They said, "Man, he is really good." So they said, "Yes, he's trying to raise enough money now to do an album."
Right.
She said, "Well, how much is it?" And they tell her that he's trying to raise $10,000 and he's about halfway there. She writes a check for $5 and hands it to him and says, "He's going to be something that people need to hear." I thought that was amazing. A lady just out of the clear blue sky does that. That's pretty good.
And that's a thing that's become current, and there's 2 or 3 different places where you can do it, and it's raising money. It's where you can go online,
right?
And I forget, Fast Start's one
Fast
of
Start,
them.
There's different ones.
Different ones where entertainers you can donate to their career.
Yeah.
And,
get them started.
And you don't own a piece of the entertainer. Like if you give them $500, it depends on who the entertainer is. They might come to your house and do a house party, and give you, when the album's done, give you 10 albums or whatever. Right. It's sort of a trade out type thing. But yeah, Travis is a real unique young man.
Oh, man.
And
Turnip greens.
Turnip greens.
That's
I
his-
like
that-
turnip greens.
But that's one of his songs.
He's-
The turnip greens. He said, "I like them turnip greens." He's from up north, so when he come down, he fell in love
Fell
with
in love
turnip.
with turnip greens. Yeah, I got one we're working on right now called chicken and dumplings.
That's
So
good.
food songs are good songs. Everybody
believe
can
it.
identify with that food.
Hey, there's all kinds. I've heard some songs. I was at the mountain this weekend and heard some beautiful music,
Yeah.
both gospel. Can I praise you from here? That was a beautiful song, and it's just you hit it at a good time. You're going to hear some good music.
There you go. There you go. And I guess what we better do right now, though, is we better get on into this show, folks. It's the 2013
Final edition.
yeah, that's a good thing to call it. Final
Final
edition.
edition.
And we'll be back after that, and we'll see you then.
Are you a shoeanista with no place local to find your style? Well, now you don't have to travel any further than Bren's Shoe Boutique, located at the Village on Jackson, 1940 North Jackson Street, Suite 120 in Tullahoma. From funky to formal, you can find the fit and style that will make you smile at Bren's. A shoeanista herself, owner Brenda Kemp offers brands like Rocket Dog, Jessica Simpson, Mia, Nine West, J. Renee, Bandolino, and more. Want that accessory splash that none of your friends have? Bren's offers a selection of one-of-a-kind handbags and jewelry with just the right bling. So if your shoe selection doesn't stack up, find what you've been looking for at a price you can afford at Bren's Shoe Boutique, now open in Tullahoma.
Looking for a unique gift for someone special, or perhaps something just for yourself? Then you need to check out Grady Mac Denim Company, right here in the heart of Tullahoma. Grady Mac features the full line of men's and women's Lucky brand apparel. Stop in and check out our denim production line. Grady Mac offers a full line of outdoor sporting apparel and much more. And check out our custom fly fishing equipment, fine art, and signed sports memorabilia. There's something for everyone at Grady Mac Denim Company, the most unique store in Tullahoma.
You know, holiday time is a great time to run across old friends, and about a week ago I ran across one of my old friends. Hadn't seen him probably in 10, 12 years. Great guy, great writer, great story, Mr. Randy Howard. Randy?
Good to see you,
Good
John.
to see you, buddy.
How come you haven't been in touch with me in all these years?
Because you disappeared. You've been in New York, you've been in California,
Yeah, Georgia.
you traveled in Georgia.
Yeah.
Randy and I met about what, Randy, about 15 years ago?
Yeah, I think something.
You were working comedy circuits at that time.
Yeah, yeah,
And you helped us bring some comedy into the Legion.
yeah, we did.
And brought some acts in that had played all over the country, and instead of having to go to Zany's up in Nashville, we had it to where people just come to Tullahoma and see good comedy.
Well, we had some good turnouts
Yeah,
too.
had
for
some good
that.
turnouts, had some
Yeah.
great entertainment. And Randy and I got to be friends out there, and I realized how good a writer he was, an entertainer, and just you pretty much, your life's been in the entertainment business, hasn't it, Randy?
Spent my whole life, yeah. Well, so far.
Yeah, not over yet, is
No, I
it?
hope not.
No, we don't want it to be over.
Yeah, it's good to see Miss Peggy too.
Yeah.
Years ago, I did the South Jackson Goes Country. I don't know how many years ago that
Been a while
was,
back.
but yeah, it was back when I was young and good looking.
Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed.
Thank you, John.
You know, here's something right here that's interesting. You know, that right there is, folks, I'm sure, there you go. That's Hank the Third, and that is I think that's Hank Jr.'s son, Hank the Third. That's his, was
Yeah.
that his first
This was his debut album.
album?
I call him Tricephus.
Tricephus?
Yeah, he doesn't like that.
He doesn't like it.
Says it sounds like a
But,
disease.
yeah, I think the first song on this thing is a Randy Howard song.
Yeah, it is. Mhm.
What, don't you know? Don't I know?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Title cut. on that right there. And you've had been on some other of his stuff, his work as well, haven't you?
Yeah, he cut another one of my songs on his third album. And so he's been real good to me. Thanks.
Say, how's his career running?
His career is doing real well. He's kind of like a David Allan Coe or something. He hasn't, in fact, I don't know, it's been his only Billboard charted single. But he's kind of underground, and he sells a lot of albums, and he's got a great following. He just hasn't made it commercially on, top 40
country radio.
Yeah, because
they're
not ready for what he does.
No, they've got about a 20-song playlist.
Yeah. It used to be 30. I think it's right down to 20 now.
Yeah. And if you hadn't got Pepsi or Target behind you, you don't get that.
There you go. And if you don't have, if you're over 30,
not got a chance.
Ain't got a chance these days, No.
And nowhere anybody's pretty as us. Just
no. I mean, good-looking people like me and you. We don't make it.
That's why you just told me something I forgot. Why somebody invented line dancing?
Yeah, so ugly people could dance too.
Yeah. Not have to be picked. You
don't have to walk across the dance floor
and pick somebody.
Yeah, and get embarrassed and have to walk back across the dance floor by yourself.
Well, what else are you into right now? I know you've written some comedy stuff. You've written real, pure country.
Yeah.
Where are you headed? Where's Randy Howard headed right now?
I'm trying to concentrate on my writing and get some more songs cut by these young artists. I found that at my age it's a lot easier to walk to the mailbox than it is to go on the road. I toured some with Confederate Railroad last year, and with Billy Joe Shaver, and I did Farm Aid up in St. Louis. Willie invited me to come up and do that. So I do some things here and there, but I'm not. Thanks to Hank, I'm not in the soup line. So
it's amazing what those Williams boys can do.
I tell you what, them Williams boys, yeah. And it's like Granddaddy's still as popular now as he ever was.
Sure he is. I mean, when you're a legend, you're a legend.
Yeah, it's amazing the amount of work he did, and died at 29
in a short
years
period
old.
Of time.
Yeah.
Well, you write about what you feel, and you write about what you know, and it's hard to realize that one man experienced that much pain.
Oh yeah.
That quick.
I thought I had been through pain.
Nah.
At 29, I wasn't feeling any pain, I don't think.
Who was? You were telling me the other day that you sort of drifted. I don't want to say drifted off, because I don't want this to come across in any type of a negative manner, into spiritual music.
Yeah, I just cut my first spiritual album, and I'm shopping it to labels right now. It's not out. Hopefully it'll be out by spring. And it's just something I always wanted to do. I grew up, my first public performance was in church.
Right.
So, that's where I started out, and I figured after all the bad stuff I've done, I figured it was time to go back to it.
Go back to it. How's that process working right now in the music industry? As with all of this downloads and uploads and all the things that have changed in the music industry, how easy is it to find a label to pick up a project?
Well, I don't know. I'll let you know in a couple of months.
Okay.
But I've got some labels interested now, but we haven't come to terms yet. But it's getting harder and harder because a lot of the major artists, write too, and they found out that there's more money in writing and publishing than there is in getting out there on the road. Right. Because most musicians used to have to make their their money on the road. You know, even if you had a major record deal, you know, the record company, they have what we call creative accounting.
Yeah.
And unless you become Garth Brooks or something and can afford to have them audited, you know, you never see any money really out of your records. The money artists used to make was strictly on the road, but now, you know,
they want that too, don't they?
Yeah, since they changed, oh yeah, they want a part of it all. They want part of management, part of publishing, you know, part of your, you know, T-shirt sales,
hats, tickets,
everything else, yeah. And but since the copyright laws were changed, Jimmy Carter in 1976 changed the copyright laws. You know, so it used to be copyrights were good for 28 years, and then you could renew them for another 28 years, which they were good for 56 years. And where you get to see all these public domain songs come from are people that forgot to renew them after 28 years or after 56 years if they did remember to renew their copyright. But now the copyright laws have changed. It's the life of the author plus 70 years now.
Plus how many?
70.
So that's big time.
Until you die, you know.
Plus 70 years.
Plus 70 years. Your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren can collect those royalties. Yeah. But as far as record sales go, the internet and the digital world has really cut into that for artists, you know. And there's all kind of legislation going on now, trying to, you know, get more, because people can go online and like if they like one song, they can download it for 99 cents or $1.29, and instead of having to go
buy the whole
album CD. We still call them albums. Because
we're old.
They are going back to vinyl. Vinyl is coming back. It really is. Yeah.
Let me tell you what. Why don't you sing us one right quick? What do you want to sing? Which direction you want to head? Right?
I don't know.
It's up to you. That's your microphone, and that's your camera, and that's your TV.
Oh, that's my TV?
That's your TV.
Can we get in the truck?
Yeah, we can get in the truck.
Okay.
And there's a pawn shop between here and your house.
I don't think I could get too. That's not a flat screen, is it?
No, it's not. That's big. It's big.
I'll do the song I wrote for Hank Three Cut on his debut album. I might have to change some words in here, but okay.
Well, yeah.
I might get drunk and rob a bank, shoot my car if it don't crank, burn the glow up with some pain, mess the wall up with some paint, might even join the rodeo, ride my horse to Buffalo, change my name to Bill, but I don't think I ever will, but I can't promise you I won't. Some people do, some people don't. Some people win, some people lose. Some people never get to choose. All you can do is the best you can, and hope things work out like you planned. I plan to stay, but I might go, and I can't say 'cause I don't know. I might become the president. Stranger things have happened, and tell the world I'm heaven sent. Give up drinking cold iced tea, quit watching women and TV, might even smoke those cigarettes, play my guitar like Dickie Betts, getting Linda Ronstadt's pants. But I don't think I got a chance, but I ain't saying I won't try to do it all before I die. I just might win, but if I lose, I'll just blame it on the booze, 'cause I'm just doing the best I can. And I hope you understand, Why, I can't say I'll never go. But if I do, I told you so.
Andy Howard.
Thank you, thank you.
Welcome to Merle Norman, located inside Northgate Mall in Tullahoma. Since 1931, Merle Norman Cosmetics have been researched, developed, manufactured, and packaged in the USA, using the highest quality ingredients and unmatched customer service to help women look and feel better about themselves.
Hi there, I'm Christy Elmacher, owner of Merle Norman. I want to talk to you a little bit today about Merle Norman products. We have a large line of skincare and cosmetics for all skin types. Merle Norman's motto is try before you buy, so we'd love for you to come in, talk to us about your concerns, try the products, and we want you to feel good when you leave here, so we hope to see you soon.
Want to feel good in your skin? Visit Merle Norman in Northgate Mall, Tullahoma.
On the train test range, the search for any possible weakness continues. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Train, the most reliable for a reason.
Hello, my name is Joe Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. I'm here to talk to you about a couple incentives that are going on between now and the end of the year. First is your federal tax credit up to $300. Secondly, 0% financing up to 15 months on XL products. Third, fall promotion up to $1,100. Finally, $500 incentives from your local power distributor. Please give us a call at 455-8757. Thank you.
All right, folks, we're back, and you know, it's always fun around here because we never know who we're going to run across, who we're liable to have in the studio. And this morning, I am very pleased and very honored to have Miss April Kelly with me here. And April is a television personality, someone who has been in the industry. She kind of said to me, she said, I left a county in California that had 6 million people and moved to a county in Tennessee that had 6,000 people. So I'd like to introduce to you Miss April Kelly, and she's a Moore County resident now.
Yep.
And what I want to do is just sort of get into a little bit of the background of you. You're an author now, is how you spend your time, but writing is something that you have learned how to do and acquired the talent over years and years of writing.
Not that many years. Let's just say years, John. Let's stop it at years
of writing in Hollywood. Everything from doing stand-up comedy to Mork and Mindy to Webster to Boy Meets World for Disney, and on and on and on. Just give us a little background into April Kelly, would you please?
Well, I started out in advertising, and I specialized in comedy commercials. And after a while, I'd look at TV and I'd say, gosh, I'm writing funnier in 30 seconds than they are in 30 minutes. So I submitted 180 pages of speculative material to 2 producers in Los Angeles in 1975, and I was hired sight unseen out of an ad agency in Tampa, Florida. Got on a plane quit my job on Friday, got on a plane on Sunday night, and Monday morning I was working at ABC on the Jim Stafford Summer Show. And that was my first job. I had 10 weeks of work. I didn't know if I'd be out on the street after that, but it turned into a successful career, and I started producing my own shows back in the 80s.
Right.
And then was very lucky to have Boy Meets World be a success on ABC. It stayed on the air for 7 years. Went off in the spring of 2000, and I made tracks for Moore County, Tennessee, and built a house. I chose Lynchburg because I was under the mistaken impression I could run a 1-inch pipe from the distillery right to my house. But it turned out you can't do that because it's a dry county.
They try to sell people on that,
know,
but not too many.
But I'd already started, laid the foundation. I couldn't quit then, so I have to go to I have to go to another city to buy my Jack Daniels.
Hey,
And then I
understand.
wanted some peace and quiet to write novels, and I've written 4, and quite satisfied with the change.
And in your novel writing, what sets apart an April Kelly novel from the other novels on the shelf?
Well, I'm writing in English. Okay, first, that's a big
Big deal.
Yeah.
Big deal. There you go.
Well, I do 2 types of novels. By myself, I do literary fiction, and my first book was called Winged, and it was on one look, it's the lengths a mother will go to protect her child, a very special child, and on the other face of it, it's a contemporary retelling of the Icarus and Daedalus myth, with it being a girl flying a little too close to the sun.
Right.
This is an unwed teenage mother who gives birth to a child with a small birth defect, 2 little flaps on her back that the mother believes are going to be wings when she grows up, and it causes the child to have unrealistic expectations about what she's going to do later on. And then when I write murder mysteries, I write with my partner, my best friend, my college roommate. She was a former federal prosecutor. In fact, she was the youngest federal prosecutor in Miami's history. And
Boy, I bet she stayed busy.
Oh yeah, she stayed busy.
Miami.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was plenty to do in my
prosecutor.
And then she's in private practice now in Tallahassee, so it's
Don't have to worry
quite
about
so many
job
drug
security
runners.
there.
No, she did that for many years, but then she had a family and they wanted to move to a smaller place, and Tallahassee was a nice mid-range thing. But she has the background in crime. Not committing them, but
Understanding them.
And so we wanted to write some entertainment business-based murder mysteries, but I've read some written by people who obviously were never in the entertainment business, and it's kind of funny because it's like they got their information off TV, and I lived it, I produced shows, so we wanted to get that verisimilitude of what really goes on behind the scenes, and so we wrote Murder in One Take, and it seemed to be received pretty well. It's won 2 awards, a gold medal in an international book contest sponsored by the Florida Authors and Publishers Association, and we just last month got an honorable mention from Writer's Digest, which is, that's a pretty good publication. And we've also published Murder Take 2, Murder Take 3, and hopefully Murder Take 4.
Sort of like the Rocky movies.
Yeah, what we do the same cover every time. One person, I sent 2, and she said, "How come you sent me 2 of the same book?" And I said, "No, read it, for God's sake. It says Murder Take 2, the second one." So yeah, you got to be able to read. So they do have, I think it's as interesting as the stuff you've heard about show business, but it's not the stuff you've heard. I know you can go to the store and you can buy those tabloids and they'll tell you about plastic surgery with the stars and all, but there's a real show business that I think is as interesting, or from my point of view, even more interesting, and those come out in the book. Because even Winged has an undercurrent of America's love-hate relationship with celebrities. I mean, it's like, we love our celebrities, but boy, when one of them hits the skids, it's like wolves on a wounded animal. And so it's that ambivalence that America has. We, love people until we hate them.
Right. And the more you love them, the more you get to hate them.
Oh yeah, you can hate them pretty good.
Your comedy side. You ever deal with Leno or Letterman or any of those guys?
Jay and David and I, believe it or not, our birthdays are in the same month, and we all arrived in Los Angeles within about a 6-week period. And we all had the same manager in 1975. That's how,
that's close.
It was spooky. So I've worked with both Jay and David. Of course, once David moved to New York, he was, we weren't in touch that often. And Jay and I, back when we were both struggling stand-ups, but I was doing a little bit of writing and earning a living, he has, you've heard about his 2-story garage with the hydraulics and all his cars and motors. In those days, he drove a beat-up old Sunbeam that he had souped up. I have never seen.
It though, doesn't he?
He probably does. But our manager was always trying to fix me up with Jay, and it wasn't ever going to take. But she was just sure she was going to fix us up. So she invited us to dinner at her house one night, and we realized nobody else is there. So when we walked out afterward, Jay said, "Hey, you want to take a ride in the Sunbeam?" And this is in the flats of Beverly Hills. And I said, "Sure. I like sports cars." And he says, well, you can drive it. And I get in it and start it up, and you know, if you've ever driven a stick, and maybe you haven't, I have to have a stick, you get a feel for when you shift, you know, into the next gear. And I'm getting up close to 30 miles an hour and it's still in first gear. And I says, when does this sucker get? And he says, about 45. And I just pulled over and I said, no, you drive it. Because he had worked on, he still works on his own cars.
Oh, yeah.
You go to his house, I used to drive a Ferrari back in those days. And when I go to his house to see his wife, basically he just popped the hood or climb under it. You know, he's, I think in another life he'd be a grease monkey. It just doesn't pay quite as well as late night comedy.
Well, you know, I think those guys have both are a testimony to hard work and knowing how to reinvent themselves to stay fresh. And that's a very, very, very difficult thing to do, I would imagine, in that industry at that level.
Well, David Letterman had a horrible failure before he got successful because he was, you know, kind of a semi-hot young stand-up comic, and he was put on in the morning around 10 o'clock on CBS, and boy, housewives were not gonna click with his kind of humor.
Right.
And it tanked so desperately. And then Johnny Carson's company picked up his contract. They said, this guy's talented, that's just the wrong forum for him.
Right.
Like Jay Leno tried to do, he did a pilot called Mookie and Cheryl. He played Mookie. And he just wasn't, he's not an actor-y kind of guy, you know? So it's finding your niche, and mine was writing. I did stand-up, I did some late night stuff, but writing is what I like to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's my thing, so.
It's fun, and it's very enjoyable to have someone credit you or
yeah, they don't credit you, John.
No, or say, no, you know, you did, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the fact that somebody is using your stuff at that level has got to be a great feeling for you to know that you've created something that is out there and successful, and it came from that.
Oh, and you see your words in someone else's mouth, and
yeah.
because I did a lot of Vegas acts for people, people who weren't generally stand-up comics, singers that needed what they used to call patter for their act, but they wanted funny patter, and so I did a lot of that, and it just, you know, I was seeing icons from my childhood speaking my words, you know, in Vegas and things. So I was very pleased with that. And then I kind of came up with that group, you know, with Robin Williams and Jay and David. And then, you know, we became the elder statespeople, and then the newer comics come in. And it's you know, the circle of comedy, John. Circle of comedy.
Circle of comedy. Letterman did a show that was on for about a season called The Good Times. And it was about a 30-minute comedy
variety
show.
Like a variety. Oh yeah.
No, with a guy. It was sort of like the Honeymooners, except there were no women. This guy owned a bonded warehouse, and he was like the Gleason character. And there was a helper.
I cannot believe I do not know this show.
It was the funniest thing in the absolute world.
Because David, he's not much of an actor. I cast him on Mork and Mindy. He appeared on Mork and Mindy playing kind of a...
I don't think he was in it, but I think it was produced by David, and I don't know whether he
Worldwide
wrote it
Pants.
or not.
Oh no, Worldwide Pants does a lot. That's his company. Worldwide Pants does a lot of shows. He
but
did.
It was hilarious. Yeah. And it was on for one summer season, and then I couldn't find it again anymore.
It probably went off.
The guy was so funny because he was just like Jackie Gleason. He would try to do good, and he got in trouble all the time.
Yeah, David's company does a lot of production.
It was hilarious. So, well, how does somebody go about getting one of your books?
Well, you talk about shopping small. You don't get much smaller in a book like this, sweetheart. You can go to Amazon. You can go to Kindle. If you want to read some sample chapters, you can go to the publishing website, which is FlightRiskBooks.com, and it's got Winged, Murder in One Take, Murder Take Two. Also, if you want them autographed, you can buy them, and in Tullahoma at McMurr's, which is a copy shop on OG Street.
Everybody knows where Cat hangs
Everybody
out.
knows where Cat is at McMurr's. You can drop them off there. I'm in there 2 or 3 times a week, and I'm happy to autograph for you or for a gift for someone. So
hand me Winged.
And you
please.
winged right there.
I just want to show you now, somebody who really knows how to put something together. For your bookmark has the same color feather that's on the front of the book.
I buy these by the
is
gross.
Is that, yeah, but that just shows how
Yeah, we've tried to put some personality
doing it
into
right,
it. Yeah,
doing it
just stick it
completely
in
right.
there. Well, there we go. They fall.
I
so.
love it. Miss April Kelly, thank you so much for being with us. Know that you're welcome to come back at any time and tell us about your new stuff and whatever you're doing down in Mo County.
Okay, well, thank you for letting me promote my books.
Appreciate you being
How much
here.
is the check to you?
Check to me is zero.
Okay.
Just
Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Go to McMurray's and get these books, pick them up there. And,
No, they don't sell them there. No, I lose money if I try to sell them in the shop.
Okay.
No, you order them online and just drop it off there and I'll sign it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
I've got a little display, but that's it.
All right, that's great. We'll be back after these messages.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do,
Everyday miracles at Life Care Centers of America.
Have you heard that little voice that beckons you to come home to Tennessee? Well, here's your chance. Here's a property offered by its owner. It's 20 miles from the National Walking Horse Celebration grounds in Shelbyville, Tennessee, and only 10 minutes away from the Jack Daniel Distillery in Lynchburg. It's located at 769 Shipman Creek Road. This property has over a 5,300 square foot home on 45 acres, and a sprawling 200 acres is also available. Let's take a look at the house. Built in 1998, this home has 4 bedrooms and 3.5 baths. This home offers wide open views, featuring the main floor with over 2,700 square feet of living room, an eat-in kitchen, a formal dining area, and a massive 20 by 19 master bedroom with a master bath and fireplace included. There is craftsmanship at every turn, solid cherry cabinets, built-in cherry shelves, and other solid cherry appointments. It's a 2-story home with 3 nicely sized bedrooms upstairs. Down a spiral staircase, the basement hosts a 40 by 40 den with a handcrafted bar. We're leaving the jukebox here, folks. The basement is a recreation room on steroids. There are too many closets to count and more than you'll ever need. There are so many places in this home to find peace that you'll seldom want to leave it. But when you do, you'll discover up to 200 acres of paved roads with city water. The property is quilted with streams, woods, ponds, and open pasture. The view from the porch alone is enough to say you're home. The property includes a 3-bay heavy construction shop and plenty of room to build stables and graze livestock. If Tennessee's been calling you home, start your journey by calling this number. A property like this comes on the market but once in a lifetime. We think you'll love it. We think you'll stay. This is a very real estate.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham from the News Channel 5 Weather Center. Look to Jim Fuller and crew for local news night here on Channel 6.
You know, I have a fun thing today that I get to do. About a year ago, a little over a year ago, there was a lovely young lady from Texas showed up here at the studio. Her name was Lauren Presley, and she was trying to find out and make her way to Nashville, involved in the music industry, and you know how so many young people in our nation now are trying to make it in the music business. Well, I have Lauren back with me today, and this is Lauren Presley right here, and she is on set with us, and she has made it back toward Nashville. She's living closer to Nashville now. Mm-hmm. And Lauren, tell us, I have found out that you are involved in a Lifetime television show called Chasing Nashville.
Yeah, Chasing Nashville is a new reality show just about like young and upcoming artists. But it's me and 3 other girls that are featured on the show, and it's actually a really, really interesting, great show. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I'm on it, but it is like, it's really just an amazing show just to see all of us grow and mature as artists. It's just really amazing.
And so you're filming that, you have been filming that.
Yeah.
And that show, the opening show is tonight on Lifetime. And what time does that show come on?
9 Central.
9 Central Time on Lifetime. You will be able to see this lovely young girl. So this show airs at 6:30, so you folks will be able to turn over to Lifetime and see Lauren on the premiere of Chasing Nashville. Are you all getting to play? I would imagine. Are some of the scenes shot with you playing and singing?
Well, I'm still learning guitar, so not really. One of the girls, she plays a little bit of guitar. Helena Hunt. She's 17 and she plays the banjo and the guitar, and she's very talented, and so are the other girls. It's just, there's so much talent on the show, like I can't even express it.
And how old are you now?
I'm just 13. I'm the youngest one.
You're the youngest one?
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the show, you're doing what, 8? It's an 8 show season?
There's 8 episodes, but there is a 9th one. It's a special little treat. Y'all see. Just watch Lifetime. Y'all see it.
Okay. Now, is there, at the end of this show, is there, like most reality shows, is there a winner?
No.
Or is everybody a winner just by being there?
Yeah, everyone's basically a winner. It's just about our lives, and it really shows like a deep inside look of our real personal lives. I mean, every detail. It's really interesting. We're 14 girls, you know.
So are you getting though to experience Nashville and the music scene in Nashville while this is going on? Are you meeting some people, some artists, some writers, some industry people?
I'm working my way there.
Working your way there? What do you? I know you probably don't have much spare time, but
No.
in your spare time, how do you spend it?
Honestly, I ride my horse a lot. I have horses, quarter horses, and barrel racing has always been a dream of mine. I've done it a little bit, but not much, not like professional or anything. I would like to, but my music comes first. And I volunteer at a ranch called Saddle Up Therapeutic Ranch in Franklin, Tennessee, and it's where disabled kids ride horses. And I work with a little girl who has Down syndrome. And
that's wonderful.
It's really cool. Like, it touches you. I have a connection with some of the people there. It's really amazing.
So, you brought your horses from Texas? Well, I mean, you know, you're not going to leave your buddies at home and come find some new buddies, are you?
No, those are my babies.
Those are your babies? What type of guitar do you play? What type of guitar do you have?
Acoustic.
You play acoustically. Okay. Any other instruments that you care to maybe venture toward as your career moves along?
Not really. I mean, I've just started guitar. Like, I can only play like a few chords and play around with a little bit, but I want to become like an expert, you know, so I can just jam out.
Sure you do.
Yeah.
Sure you do. So let's get back to the show, Chasing Nashville. You and the girls. So if this is not really a competition, so you get to draw off of each other and learn from one another in a more of a friendly environment than if it were a competition that one person's going to win.
Yeah, we do. We all get along fairly well, most of us. You'll see later on.
They didn't throw a mean girl in there?
Well, every story has a bad side to it. Every
story has a bad side to it. You're exactly right. So how did the people from Lifetime run across you?
I have a Facebook thing, Facebook page, band musician type page, and it's called Lauren Marie Presley, and they messaged me on there because they saw my videos on YouTube and wanted to speak to my parent or guardian, and so, yeah.
And it happened from Facebook.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
It is. I mean, it's crazy. Like a year ago, I was singing in my room with a brush, in the mirror, just acting like, I was a pop star or something. And now it's actually really happening, and filming and just being so busy and having barely any spare time. It's just insane.
What's the filming part like? Is that fun, or is it just arduous?
It takes a while getting used to the cameras following you around and stuff, but it's pretty fun. People are like, oh, what are they doing?
Are the crew, the people that work in the crew, the film guys and the guys hauling wire around, is everybody pretty nice?
They are, yeah.
Nice. So they're very professional and very nice, and that's good. What about, do they feed you?
Well, we have breaks and stuff.
You always hear about the movies and how the food is always good.
We gotta eat. We gotta have energy.
But I mean, it's pretty good stuff, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite thing on set food that you've had so far?
I just don't know.
They have good pizza?
We just go to like random places wherever we're at. Just be like, hey, there's a blah 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 down the street. Let's all go get some food. We're like, okay, sure. So we'll just run down there, or somebody will go make a food run. And
so you're finished with filming now, or
yeah.
I know the first show's running, so they finished everything before the first show runs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now your life is a little bit more back to normal, or less back to normal?
Well, I have a lot of interviews coming up and that type of stuff, just about the show, Chasing Nashville and everything. But it's fun, I like cameras and stuff now. I've gotten spoiled.
Yeah. Well, I've always said that success is varies by where you are on the road. Mm-hmm. And so now your normal has changed.
Yeah.
Your normal will never be the same as it was a year ago.
No.
So how are you accepting that okay?
Yeah, I am. It is a big change and a big difference, because I left my hometown for this, and I left my dog, my brother, my dad, my grandma.
Your boyfriend?
No, not exactly.
I knew I'd get that in there sooner or later.
But I've just given up a lot for this, but honestly, it's all worth it. This is what I want to do, and I'm from a little bitty small town, Redwater, Texas. I bet nobody's ever heard of it, but it's right outside of Texarkana. But I'm just not going to get noticed there, and just Tennessee in this area is just
it's fertile ground for people who want to be in the music and film and television industry. It's a lot better to be. Yeah.
And so I'm just doing whatever it takes to get my career going.
Well, Lauren Presley, thank you so much for coming back and visiting with us. You're going to keep us informed, aren't you? I know your mom's here, and so she's real good about informed with what's going on. Mm-hmm. But know that you're welcome back anytime. Don't get too big now.
I won't. Don't worry.
Let us know what's going on in your life. And folks, isn't it special to have someone like this who came and visited us, trying to find a way toward Nashville, and now she's there as 13, and she's on a television show that airs tonight. That's the 22nd, and it'll be on every Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm. Every Tuesday night at 9
on Lifetime at 9 o'clock Central. And look at that face. Look at that look right over there, sweetie. Look at him right there. Look at that beautiful face. You will see that the next time you see that face, it'll be on Lifetime television. Congratulations, young lady.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming and being with us.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Folks, we'll be right back after these messages.
With over 30 years experience servicing the Tullahoma area, Mike's Tire, Brake, and Muffler has become a household name in Middle Tennessee. As a family-owned business, Mike and his wife Lisa, along with their sons Jamie, Justin, and Jody, have assembled a crew that delivers quality service to go with quality products. As the only authorized Michelin and Goodyear dealer in Tullahoma, they have become the tire store of choice, being named the Tire and Brake Store of the Year multiple times. They also rent Penske trucks and are an interstate battery dealer. So if you need tires, brakes, mufflers, a battery, or maybe rent a truck, go to the place you can trust. Call Mike's Tire, Brake, and Muffler at 931-455-5150. Located at 732 North Jackson in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
If you're looking for fuel, food, or fun, don't forget the Dameron Brothers stores. The Shortstop has fuel, food, and beverages. The Breeze Inn Market has party supplies, beverages, and the area's best selection of premium cigars. The Liquor Locker carries all of your favorite brands of wines and spirits. So for all your party needs, Jeff and Jay say, come on by, and thank you for the support of our businesses.
Welcome back to Living. You're going to be so glad you hung around for this segment because I have the great pleasure of introducing to you Miss Asia Anastasia Morgan.
Yes,
Got it
sir.
right, didn't I? Asia is a singer, a songwriter, and she comes to us from Georgia. And when did you start singing?
When I was 3 years old.
Do you remember your first song?
Tomorrow by Annie.
Cute. Did you go see the play or you just happened to hear the song?
I happened to hear it on TV. My brothers and sisters and I.
And you all started singing, and you've been singing ever since, obviously. And you started playing the guitar at 12, and you're 19 years old.
Yes.
So, and I know you're from Georgia, and that means a lot to me. I'd like to hear from you what made you want to write music.
Well, ever since I was little, I was always intrigued by writing. Even though I didn't really know how to write, or, write cursive, scribbles.
You just scribble, and you knew what you were saying, right?
And when I was 9 or 8, that was the first time I ever wrote a song, and it was called Shadows Are Fading.
What a sweet title.
Yeah. And ever since then, I've...
Do you still do that song?
I actually turned it into a song when I was 17.
Yeah?
And produced it.
And is it on your CD that's coming out?
Yes, it is. In
Are you going
September.
to play that today?
No, not today.
No, okay. Now you've got me curious. I'm going to be dying to hear that song. I know you're prepared to play a song for us, and I think you've been up to the Smokehouse playing in Monteagle. And when did you do that?
It was about a week or two ago.
Yeah, and do you plan on coming back? Good. I hear that the music is good up there.
Yes,
and I think the food is good, and hopefully one of these days I'll get up there to see you. Let's go ahead and do your song. Okay. What is the song?
It's called She's So Demure.
She's So
Demure.
Demure.
I've been feeling locked up, baby. I've been waiting all night, and I'm shaking inside. Want you to hold me, mold me, tell me you gon' do me right. Been waiting all night, and I'm shaking inside. Want you to tell me you can't resist my restless night, but she's so demure. Filled with desire, wanting more. Ready for fire, but she's so demure. She's so demure. She's so demure. She's so demure.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham, and you're watching Just Plain Living here on Charter Channel 6.
Country music fan that I am tickled to death right now to be sitting on stage with one of the legends of country music, Hank Williams Sr., reincarnated into the body of Jason Petty. And this young man right here is so extremely talented and so fun to be around. And Jason is going to be performing at the MAC.
At the MAC, Manchester Arts Center, July 11th through the 14th. Going to be doing a show called Hank and My Honky Tonk Heroes. Got my trio out there, and we're going to be performing Hank Williams' greatest hits, telling you some stories that I've learned along the lost highway that I've
that you've traveled,
been down for the last 17 years. It seems like yesterday. We're just getting started at the Ryman in Nashville in 1996, and I got to meet everybody that ever knew Hank, musicians that played in his band. I got to meet Junior and Jet and all these people, and come to know them fairly well and know the stories behind the songs. All the people that the Grand Ole Opry stars, Billy Walker and those guys who are no longer with us, but Billy was on the last tour with Hank in December of '52, and then Hank died, January 1st of '53.
Right.
But so got all the stories, the great stories about Hank Williams' life and his music, and it's more interesting if you know what Hank was going through in his personal life when he wrote Your Cheating Heart.
Right.
Or I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. That's a call to God. It's a cry for help, basically, from Hank. And he never wrote an autobiography per se, except in his music. He wore his heart on his sleeve, and he wrote about things that he knew. And that's what captivated listeners, because before Hank, you had mostly gospel singers and folk singers, and it was called hillbilly music. It wasn't called country until Hank came in and sort of took from all his different heroes like Jimmy Rogers and the black blues musicians and Ernest Tubb and Acuff and the Carter family, and sort of just molded country music to what it has become today, or at least what it used to have become before we got to this sort of modern era that, I mean, music has to change. Times change, music has to change. But this is a chance to take a step back in time and listen to the things that your father or your grandfather or grandmother listened to. And it takes you back to your childhood, to me, when things were simpler. There weren't so many, cars on the road or so many people in this world, things were...
But what happens in music, and it did in Nashville when pop goes to country, the Mandrells and Glenn Campbell and
well, you can go back to Patsy Cline.
All of that stuff, and then Randy Travis came along singing like Hank and some of the old stuff, and it knocked it right back. And now it's come forward again, and now we're more We're more southern rock, country,
It's pop,
it's pop, and there will be an artist that will come along.
Let's hope
that has that voice and has that ability to capture an audience that will take it back. The music is where it all comes from, and it'll all that old wonderful show music that was done, Sons of the Pioneers, and music that has real melody and real words to it, danceable music, that it will always find its way back to that. And you're one of the things that helps that happen in people's minds by doing what you do.
Well, thank you. The number one criteria I use to judge an artist and his work is believability. Do you believe that this person, man or woman, singing this song about this hurtful, crying event or whatever, do you think they actually lived through that? Do you think they could have actually lived through that? Does it feel like they're singing it from a personal standpoint, emotion? Or are they just singing words on a piece of paper that was written by 4 people in a business office, several months ago over a period of years? Yeah, and it's tough today because all the songs sound a little generic. So it's tough to get somebody who's got real emotion, who sings from their heart, and who's believable. And Hank was one of those guys.
3 chords in the truth.
That's exactly what it is. Harlan Howard said that.
Give us some.
All right. There's a tear in my beer 'cause I'm crying for you, dear. You are on my lonely mind. I'm so doggone blue, I don't know what to do. You are on my lonely mind. I'm gonna keep drinking till I can't feel a toe. Then maybe, darling, my heart won't hurt me so. There's a tear in my beer 'cause I'm crying for you, dear. You are on my lonely mind. There he is, right there.
Folks, if that's not Hank, there ain't nothing Hank.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please, for the following public service announcement. He's back! The Watkins Man is back, bringing his world-famous Watkins products to 104 East Lauderdale Street in Tullahoma, where Richard and Stephanie Carpenter have opened the area's only Watkins store. Since 1886, Watkins has produced all-natural products, starting with the pain liniment and now including soaps, oils, creams, scrubs, royal jelly, beeswax, supplements dedicated to natural health and pain management, cover total external and internal body care. And don't forget the world-famous spices, extracts, teas, and cooking ingredients. With too many products to list, know that all Watkins products are 100% natural, using the highest quality ingredients obtainable. Always remember, with Watkins, when you buy the best, you use less.
All right, folks, we're back, and we told you that our crew went to Bonnaroo, and we're going to bring you a little bit of that Bonnaroo experience through the eyes of Philip Scoggins and Andrew Todd and C.J. Henry, and buckle your seatbelt. It's going to be fun.
traffic ahead, heavy traffic ahead. We got the Rambo, there's heavy traffic ahead. We pull out in Nashville right on time. The Bluegrass Special heading down the line. Heavy traffic ahead, heavy traffic ahead. We got the Rambo, there's heavy traffic ahead. I find peace of mind. Yes, I do, 'cause I was born to be with you. Wondrously
Tennessee. On the way to Bonnaroo.
To rid yourself of body pain, stiffness, and stress while increasing circulation, visit the Balance Spa in Shelbyville at 731 North Main Street. Or have them visit you at your office for a chair massage. Simon Cow and Maria Keys Gammon give a professional full-body foot or chair massage that makes you feel like new. Call owner Linda Hackle Brown at 931-639-4885 to set your appointment today.
As the Olympic torch makes its way to Tullahoma High School. These officers have been running since the age of Tullahoma, bringing this special Olympic torch to you this morning. Now, following a tradition as old as the Olympic Games themselves, the special Olympic flame will be carried around the track in just a moment by Allison Pigg from Lincoln County. Okay, Allison has the torch. Let's cheer her on as she makes her way all the way around. Beautiful job, Allison. We are so proud of you. Now, Mayor Lane Curley, Mayor of Tullahoma.
This is a special certificate of recognition for Karen Matchett, Tennessee Area 13 Special Olympics Director. On behalf of 18,655 citizens that call Tullahoma, and by the authority invested in me as Mayor of Tullahoma, I now therefore proclaim recognition of 35 dedicated service. Tennessee Area Special as Director. Tuesday, April 16, 2013. That's Karen Magic, Telehoma.
Let me win. But if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. You guys are great. Congratulations and have a great day.
The 2013 35th Annual Area 13 Lower Cumberland Region Summer Games Open.
From the opening parade, to the lighting of the torch, to the various events, such as racing, bocce ball, softball throw. This is truly a day where it is not a cliche to say everyone is a winner. I'm speaking with Karen Matchett and Carol Pass, and ladies, I do believe I've heard that this is your last year here working with the Special Olympics. Is that right?
It is. It's been wonderful, but 35, it's time for someone new to take over.
35 years is unbelievable. Yes. That's great. And maybe, tell our viewers a little bit, how good it feels.
This is, you can't ask for a better reward than to watch them compete and be proud of themselves. They watch them over the years, see how much they improve, and they all have smiles on their faces, and that's the best reward yet.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure it's great watching a lot of them grow up and come back year after year.
Yes, we've had them as, young students, and now I have adults over here in bocce. Yes, absolutely.
I'm speaking with Dana Simpson. Dana is also 35 years, right? And again, final year this year, right?
That's right. It's a labor of love, as it is for everybody here. If you go talking to these athletes, they'll say this is the biggest day of their whole year. Yeah. There is a lot of work that goes into it, but it doesn't take but an hour being out here to realize that it was all worth it.
We're back, and we certainly do. We enjoyed that show. I mean, I'd forgotten some of those people.
Sure, you always do.
That had been on, and how good they are, and some of the unique guests we have to interview.
Absolutely.
You're going to have more in 2014.
14 is going to be a big year. It's going to be a good year. Business is going to get, it seems to be growing, and people are getting to where they don't mind spending a little money again and having a little faith in the economy, and hopefully.
Which is great for us because it's been rough since 2008.
Hey, we need the economy to come back. Yeah. We need the businesses to go forward. And we need a great 2014.
Yeah, and if you folks out there need any help promoting your business and you want to spend money wisely, you call us down here at Charter Channel 6 PA Productions. I'll guarantee you we'll make you a deal that you will not believe.
That's it. You'll think we're giving it to you.
We almost do.
We almost do.
But what we're going to do right now is we're going to give you our best wish for you to have a great 2014.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching our programming, and we'll be seeing you again throughout this year.
We'll see you all year long, folks. Right. Happy New Year to you.